Hello, my name's Peter Toth, Director of Anazao and author of the book Communion Resurrected. And you're looking at this book, perhaps thinking of purchasing it. And if you are, you're probably like me. The question of communion, its relevance, its importance, maybe is a puzzle to you, because why? The Christian church is divided in that regard. We've got the Eastern and Western expressions of Christianity, the traditional ones, the Orthodox, the Catholic, where it's the centre of their liturgy, it's the centre of their daily celebration of church. And then we've got the Protestants on the other hand, and well, us Protestants, we tend to be uncertain as to its relevance and importance. Some churches are celebrating it weekly, but more often monthly, quarterly, yearly, and some churches not at all. So is this really what Jesus instituted at the Last Supper? What role does that have in God's plan for salvation? And this book here answers those questions. And what I find about this book compared to other books that I've read on communion, believe me, I've read a lot, is most of them come from either a literal stance, and that's what they're dealing with, or they already assume that it's a symbolic stance, a Protestant stance, and then they'll give you information. But I haven't yet found a book that has satisfyingly argued for both sides and really looked at, is there one answer? What did Jesus really mean when he said, this is my body and this is my blood? In actual fact, when he did say this is my body, did he mean his earthly body or did he mean his resurrection body? And there's a big difference between the two. And so what I've done is try to answer those kind of questions that we often hear asked but no one really bothers to answer. Questions to do with cannibalism, because of course Protestants will say, well, if it's really Jesus's literal body, isn't that cannibalism? We go right back to the Passover, because Jesus instituted communion at the Passover. Was that a coincidence? What connection is there with the Passover where Jesus instituted it at with the apostles in the upper room compared to the original Passover? And was that Passover just simply a freedom of Israel from slavery in Egypt, or was it more to do with God's marriage relationship with Israel as a nation? And also, how does that tie in with the New Testament understanding of Christ's marriage relationship with us, where he is the bridegroom and we are the bride? And you'll find as you read this book that you'll get heaps of aha moments as all of those strands are joined together. It will be a challenging book for you, and one that will show you how communion pops up all over the place, that the showbread in the most holy place, how the priests, how it was prepared and how it was consumed, links very closely with communion and how we should be celebrating it. We'll be looking at Melchizedek and when he broke bread with Abraham, how that connected through to the communion that we celebrate today. The manna in the desert, the fact that Jesus was born in Bethlehem, which means house of bread, that he was laid in a manger, and what comes out of a manger but food. You'll find the strands of communion throughout the scriptures. So this book is going to, I think, revolutionize your walk. I'll offer a money-back guarantee if in reading this book it's not the best book that you've read on communion. And you'll find that it brings a connection with the Holy Spirit and an integral relationship that's often ignored by both sides of the communion debate. So trust me, this is going to excite you. It's going to answer a lot of questions. It'll make a big difference in your personal life as you begin to celebrate communion with a greater frequency. You can download this as an ebook. You can visit our website and purchase our other books at www.anazao.com.au. We run schools and conferences, seminars, and so we elaborate more on communion in our schools because we see it as a very important component in the Christian walk. Looking forward to seeing you sometime in the future.